Yo, Pamela, you ready to hit the headlines?
You know it, Ryan.
Let's do this.
I'm Pamela Kirkland.
And I'm Ryan Willard. It's Tuesday, January 17th.
This is the 10 News.
Here are 10 things you need to know right now.
Processing.
First up, we've got presidential news. Aides discovered classified documents from President Biden's time as vice president that should not have been removed from the White House.
Uh-oh.
The Justice Department is reviewing the files, and while this may remind you of former President Trump's files at Mar-a-Lago, the cases are slightly different. Biden's staff voluntarily returned files to the National Archives and are cooperating with investigators, whereas Trump's staff did not cooperate and allegedly destroyed documents.
Well.
Speaking of former President Trump, his organization has been fined $1.6 million for illegally avoiding paying taxes. His real estate company was convicted in New York and was fined the maximum penalty under New York state law. And last week, in scenes that were similar to the January 6th Capitol attack in Washington, D.C., rioters broke into government buildings in Brazil.
Okay, that's bad.
Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has not publicly stated that he lost the presidential election, which was won by current President Lula, and supporters of Bolsonaro rioted after President Lula was sworn in as the new president. Many were arrested, and the former president has condemned the rioters and the violence that occurred.
Taking a sharp turn from Brazil to the grocery store. There's an egg shortage in the U.S. You may have seen some empty shelves in your local store. There are two reasons this is happening: an outbreak of avian flu and from our friend inflation that we've talked about before. The average price of a dozen eggs has jumped $2.22 in just 1 year. Some grocery stores are even limiting the number of eggs you can buy.
A new study suggests that 900 million people in China have COVID as of January 11th. The new report estimates that 64% of the population, which is 1.4 billion with a B, are infected. The government lifted their zero COVID policy last month and reopened their borders last week.
The cases come just as many residents will begin traveling for Lunar New Year, which begins on January 22nd. Celebrations will last until February 5th, and 2023 is the year of the rabbit. Lunar New Year is based on the lunar calendar and is celebrated in many Asian countries, including China, South Korea, Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and my place of birth, the Philippines.
An exciting astronomical event that's happening around the same time as the Lunar New Year is the arrival of a rare green comet in the night sky.
Wow!
Starting this week, if you live somewhere with dark night skies, you might be able to spot Comet C 2022 E3 ZTF. It'll be closest to the Earth and easiest to see on February 1st and 2nd, but once it's out of sight, it won't be spotted again for another 50,000 years.
From icy comets in space to wild winter weather on Earth, tornadoes have caused destruction in the southern U.S., and continued rainfall in California has caused massive flooding. Atmospheric rivers have caused so much rainfall in California that the Monterey Peninsula may become an island.
What?
And southern states reeling from damage caused by tornadoes are about to see freezing cold temperatures.
Scientists have discovered a new species of giant turtles that once roamed Madagascar. A fossilized leg bone was discovered 100 years ago, but it was misidentified until now. Tortoises eventually became extinct on Madagascar because of human activity, but scientists suggest that reintroducing them could benefit the island.
Excellent.
And speaking of animals, how would you like to fly? With a snake.
Are you kidding me?
One Florida woman tried to take her pet boa constrictor through Tampa airport security in her carry-on bag. Luckily, TSA agents stopped the woman, or it could have been a real-life snakes on a plane situation.
That was 10 things you need to know right now.
Check out tomorrow's episode where we have an interview with a star of the brand new show, Super Kitties.
I'm Pamela Kirkland.
And I'm Ryan Willard. Thanks for listening to the 10 News.
Data transfer complete.